In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a no diving sign for your poolside. This is going to be another one of our CNC videos. I know they've been really popular in the past, so let's get in here and see how we make this. So to come up with the design, I decided to just go to Canva. In Canva, you can create different graphics and things like that. You can export them in SVG files, which my CNC software requires an SVG file to be able to develop the graphic that it needs to cut everything out. And so it makes it an easy way to do that. So I'm going to show you just the design process I went through, and that way you can kind of learn how to do this yourself in case you don't want to make a no diving sign, you want to make something else. This should apply. So let's get started. Okay, so I have a blank document right here. It's an 8 by 11 inch document in Canva. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to search no diving, and I want to use this. This is a premium image. Now I subscribe to the premium Canva service, whatever they call that, so I can use any of these. So if you do not subscribe to Canva, you will be a little bit more limited on what you can do, but you should still be able to find something. You just can't use the things that has the little crowns on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get that size how I want. Maybe a little bit bigger. Something like that. And then I'm going to get some text here. And I'm just going to type no diving. Now I'm going to enlarge that. Put it up above. I want to change the font. First of all, I want it all caps. So you can go highlight it and just hit uppercase. It makes it all caps. And then I'm going to change the font to this Bevan, whatever that is. I'm not sure why I didn't switch both of them. So that's kind of what I want. A little bit too big. Let's go down to about 90 point and see how it looks. Yeah, that's about right. So that is what I'm looking at right here. So all I need to do is export it. So I'm just going to hit share, download, and then select SVG. Now again, that is a premium with a transparent background. And so the reason I want it transparent is because if I don't, it'll make like an outline around the background, and I'll just have to go in and delete that, so it's one less step. If you do not pay for premium, there's a couple different steps you can take. You can download it as a JPEG, and then you'd have to bring it into another software and convert it into an SVG. Software called Inkscape can do that, but this is the easiest and quickest way to do it. So if you don't have premium Canva, it's not that expensive. It's something you'd use a lot, it's worth it to me. So we'll move on and we'll get that downloaded. Okay, now what I'm going to do is bring it into my software. So we're going to go into Carbide Create. I use a Shapeoko CNC machine. I use Carbide Create for my CNC files. Okay, so now that we're in Carbide Create, this is build 778, so I'm not even sure if that's the most recent build or not. I haven't updated on this computer in a while. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit. I made my workpiece. I already cut it, and I made it 8 1/4 wide, and it was already by default 11 7/8 the other direction. So I'm just going to keep it at that. So it's a little bit larger than the file I made. The thickness that I am using is a 1/2 inch. So here's our workspace. Now I want to import an image. It's right here, no diving SVG. Import that. And then the first thing I always want to do is I just want to group the vectors, which is right here. That way everything stays where it's supposed to be. Now I can hit align vectors and center it on the page like that. Needs to be a little bit larger in my book, so I'm just gonna extend it out a little bit and then recenter it, and that's looking pretty good. Now I have an issue here. So I have all these lines are running together. I need some gaps here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup the vectors. Now all this stuff is kind of separate. I'm just going to drag it. Oh my. I'm going to drag it away. I want to get rid of these little injury things. And then I'm just trying to create some space here. So I'm going to highlight both these. Or actually shift click. And I'm going to drag them like so. Now I got this weird crap going on right here. Also need to move this. Like that. So if you have some stuff like this, you can fix it. You just have to go into edit and hit node edit, and it shows all these little pop-up things, and you can drag stuff around. So I just want to get that little hump out of there. I can bring it down, bring it down. You can just swing these around so this isn't quite in the right spot. And I think the best way is just to try to get this stuff in line. So if I drag this out like so, flatten this out like so, drag this out. I don't know if I can delete. Oh, right click to delete the node. Let's see what happens here. Alright, that helps. Actually, let me go back. Alright, I'm just going to delete a few of these nodes and see what happens here. So I don't need them. Maybe by deleting them we'll just flatten everything out. So I'm just right clicking, delete node. Right click it down, delete node. I mean, honestly, do I need any of these in the middle here? I think the more we eliminate, the better this is going to get. So this should be a straight line. Is that a line? Yes, it is. Alright, so now it's straightened it all up. Now I just need to do the same thing over here. So click here, edit. I'm just going to right click, delete node, delete node, delete node. A lot straighter. So that is how you edit existing images, so you can kind of tweak them a little bit. I don't like this little line right here. What is that all about? That's better. I actually don't like this weird thing here. I'm going to bring it. Just get rid of that too. We'll have it something kind of like that. That's looking pretty good. So now to create the actual CNC part of it, we just want to go to tool paths. I'm going to highlight everything, and I'm going to do a pocket. I actually know for a fact that this is not the up-to-date Carbide Create. But this computer I'm working on is not hooked up to my CNC. It's in the house. It's just a little bit easier to video and work in here. And so the CNC I'm working on out in the garage is actually a newer build, but it's fine. I'm going to use an 1/8 inch bit. Want that all cut out like that. Now, one thing I see that I don't love is it's not getting down into this little gap right here. So the way you can fix that is, again, going into design. You can just select the nodes, change the wave a little bit, just make it a little bit wider. I don't know if I love that. Let's just see tool paths. So now it cut a little bit out in the middle. It's getting down to this corner a little bit, but now I made it too skinny right here. So I was going and just keep modifying a little bit. Just fatten that up right in there a little. Check it again. It's getting closer. Check it again. There we go. So now it gets a little bit down into this corner. The smaller your bit that you use, the more detail you get, but it also takes longer then too. So I don't want it to take too long. This is good enough for me. So you just save your tool path and no diving sign. And I will put front, because I'm also going to create a file to cut out the back cut, which is the little groove that we're going to use to hang this from. And I'm going to do it in the same file, and I'll be able to see exactly where it's cutting, because sometimes those keyhole grooves, you don't know how deep they're going to go, and so I always want to try to avoid stuff on the front side, just in case it goes a little deeper than I know how deep it's going to go. I don't like to risk it. Let's just put it that way. So that is the front side. Now what I'm going to do for the back side is I'm going to create a new toolpath group, and so that the top is going to be the front of the sign. The next group is going to be the back, and we have to create two files for this. So I'm going to go back to the design. I'm going to group all this stuff now that I'm done editing it. And in order to do the tool path, you have to create a circle where you want it. So we're going to go right here, and then I want the other one to be, I'm making two of them because then it won't swing. Two fixture points will keep it from tilting too much. And so we're going to bring it down in here, and we're going to make those, my bit is, I think my bit's 3/8. So we'll just go 0.17 radius. It's a little bit big, but it won't really matter because it's not going to honor that actual size. It's just going to go down, over, back, and out. So you have to give it a circle, and then you are going to go to Keyhole, and let me select both of them first. Go to Keyhole and use current selection. Now, right now, it's making that slot go up. I want it to go to the left, so I have to tell it 180 degrees. And it's right now it's going 1/2 inch. I think I want to go more like 3/4, just to be safe. Max depth. This is a 1/2 inch piece. I'm pretty sure my front piece. Oh, I forgot to set how deep my front's cutting. My front needs to cut. It's a 1/16 of an inch. I'm gonna go 1/10 of an inch, just because. So if I make this max depth 0.3, even if I should never hit, even if I get it in the wrong spot for some reason, I should never hit anything on the front side. So let me go back up here real quick. I forgot to set this depth. Oh, it was default depth, 1/10 of an inch. That'll be good enough. So that should go deep enough. It'll go down, definitely past the white and into the blue, and we should be good. So now, in order to create the tool path for just the keyhole, I have to disable the pocket tool path. Sorry, I'm looking around my camera, that's why I'm leaning my head weird. And now it's just the keyhole tool path is the only thing that's active, and I can save a tool path, and I need to save it in a new file because I'll have to load the separate file to cut just the keyholes. So I'll hit OK, and I'll do no diving keyhole. And that should be good. And now we'll get back to the machine and cut this stuff out. So we're going to start with keyholes, then we're going to flip it over, we're going to do the no diving, and should be done. So when I'm creating this sign, I wanted something that was going to last because it's going to sit outside in the Florida sun, humidity, hurricanes, just a lot of environmental issues that will definitely cause something that's made out of wood to just not quite hold up the way it needs to, so I don't have to keep remaking this. So what I bought was this stuff, and it's called King ColorCore. Got it on Amazon, and I've used it before in some signs, and I really like the results. Basically what it is, you can see it's white on the outside, it's got a blue core, white on the other side. And so what I can do with this is I can cut just through that thin white layer, which is about a 1/16 of an inch. And once I get through that, it'll create a natural contrast just between the white and the blue. Therefore, I won't have to paint it or do anything like that. I can hang this up out by the pool, no issues at all. And it should last for a long time. You may have seen these. You go to parks and things like that, you may see signs that are made, like that mark trails that they use this type of material in. So what I need to do first is I need to cut this to the size I need. And then I got to just cut some mounting holes in the back side of this. I'm just going to use a key slot bit so that I can hang a couple screws on my cage, and then it'll slide into the screws and hold it in place, and I shouldn't have to worry about it after that. All right, so what I have here now is I have my workpiece in the machine. We're using a 1/8 inch bit end mill to cut this out, and we created a pocket in the design, so it's just gonna cut everything out that's inside of the letters, inside of that no diving sign. So I have everything zeroed and we're ready to cut. So I'm going to use some stealth tapping screws, but I want to make sure I get them exactly where I want them. So I'm going to use a drill bit just to get it started. I'm just going to estimate the height here and then try to hit dead center. So these slots are 3 1/4 apart, so I'm gonna make sure I get this 3 1/4 down. Now I'll just drive these in. Now they have a pilot hole, it should go in easier. Back them off a little bit. Let's see how it hangs. I might have to adjust the depth just a little. Maybe just tighten it a little bit. May have been too far. We'll see. Hey, so there you have it. It looks great by the poolside. It's exactly how I wanted it to turn out. This was a very easy project, so if you're a beginner CNC worker, this would be one you could start with. You could potentially sell these. I don't know. The materials cost a little bit too much. It's too easy to buy cheap signs on Amazon that aren't quite as nice as this, but they would probably just be as good. So I'm not sure about how easy it would be to market them, but it serves the purpose here for me, and got to show you another way you could use your CNC. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.